right. I'm not gonna do that little
Hello.
crazy like intro thing. Other than just to say that this is zero session of we don't know what to call it yet. I'm calling it right now guild dominance because the players have to come up with their guild name, and then whatever that is, then it will be switched to that. Um, let's see. So we have here Justin, Isaac, John, Claire, Ash, and sooner or later Reed. And I'm Michelle. And all right, so here we go. So let me look to see my first little thing.
Sure.
All right, so the first thing I want to do is just a general thing. Like, I guess basically like, okay, this whole little thing should only take me, I'm hoping maybe like just an hour, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. So first thing, kind of like a meet and greet, like, who are you? Only what you want to actually say who you are, like a little 15-30 second thing. Starting with myself, my name is Michelle. I have not been doing this very long. GMing, yes. Actually putting things on Twitch, no. I just figured out this is probably like my fourth stream. So that's why I said if there's like technical difficulties, I'm just rolling with it. I'm not stopping the game for just like, the camera's not working, because there's probably only like, if two people maybe even watching the stream at all anyways. So it doesn't really matter to me. I'm doing it more for just recording so that I can look at it later and say, oh, look, that was a fun game. And that's it. If I'm looking over this way, it's because my camera's right here, but my other monitor's over there. So that's just me looking crazy. And let's see. I am probably the oldest person here. I am 35.
Oh.
And what
You mean 35 years young.
well, you know, I can say I don't feel it, but sometimes I do. So, basically, the only thing that I do is for, I should say, living, quote unquote, is I do like a little social media kind of thing for a nonprofit organization. And that's about it. And this, if you will. Okay, so I'm just playing every other NPC, and that's what I'll be doing. All right, so next up, who's playing Stars? Justin. Just basically introduce yourself and your character and what what people can see about your character on the outside, what they look like, and your class and race, and that's down the line.
I am Justin Michael Thompson. I do YouTube. I don't make any money yet.
Yet, keyword.
Yet, keyword, yes. I am playing Estariel Cartwright, who is a half-elf. Call her Star, please, for the love of God, call her Star. She is a monk, and she lived for 7 years on the streets of Waterdeep as a child because her parents were adventurers, and went away one day on one last adventure and never came back.
Oh.
Okay, what does she look like?
Oh.
Is she human? What class are you playing?
I said race and class
Did
already.
you? Okay,
but-
well, I was half
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, so what does she look like exactly?
Yeah, it broke up a little bit.
I have never verbally described her because I have a reference picture.
All right,
She does
so she
blonde
looks
hair.
exactly like her picture?
Yes.
Okay.
She's anime character.
All right.
Don't out me as a weeb. It's not
There's-
an entire YouTube channel.
We're playing with a 2D character.
There's her picture. All right. Now I'm going to close it. All right. Next up, Isaac. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, short introduction about me as a human. Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm 18. Other than that, I don't like giving away too many personal details, because
No problem.
As for a character, I'll be playing Roland Cassidy, also known by his work name Hawk, or just Cass, or Roland, whatever you want to call him. He's a human male fighter in his 40s. He's sort of like a retired adventurer, sort of getting back into the game. In appearance, he's very tall, but lanky at the same time. He's about 6'3", and he's slightly underweight at maybe about 160, 165 if you were to just take a glance at him. One thing you've noticed straight off by looking at him, though, is he's got piercingly bright blue eyes that seem young for his age. He generally wears, over some sort of rough patchwork leather armor, a poncho and vest. And of course a large cowboy hat and cowboy boots, because you gotta have it. Alright.
That's right. All right. Okay. Very good. Thank you. And John. I'm just going by the names that are on the bottom.
My character's name is a little bit long, as a normal gnome. Gimbal Alder Timber Flash Spirit Renzook. You can call me Spirit for short, though. 55 years old, a rock gnome. He's, let's see here. He is he's just over 3 feet, 3 feet 2 inches. He's about 45 pounds. He's got gold eyes, suntan skin, and long white hair that's always kind of just pushed back, like he constantly runs his hands through it. He wears a red jacket over his armor, and his scimitar is always strapped across his back where he can pull it out with his right arm. Other than that, he likes to have fun. He's a fighter, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Very good. Okay. And Claire?
Okay. I am playing Yoldra Triboga. Like, yeah. I kind of picked her name. Personally, I have never actually played D&D. Like, I've played tabletop games, but they were mostly in the Star Wars universe because I was going through a little phase. And, so please be patient, but
No problem.
Yoldra is she was born in Rashem on the streets, and she basically ended up being a gang leader. Loved people, but was still basically neutral evil because she, robbed and murdered people. Anyways, one day she basically messed up, robbed the wrong person, brought a hell of a lot of trouble down on her and her gang. Basically everybody died, except her, and even then she did gnarly scar right across the front of the throat where they tried to kill her and threw her in the river. But she survived, because she's tough, and she basically got saved by a kindly farmer couple who helped nurse her back to health, and she basically, while convalescing, took a good, long, hard look at her life and said, "Wow, I have done nothing that would make anybody mourn my passing." And so she decided, you know what? I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good and, give myself a legacy that's actually worth something. So once she got back on her feet and paid the farmer people back, she sort of set out and decided to, try out this adventuring thing, and eventually she ended up with you guys at the guild. And so basically, she's very loyal to groups, but she also has a bit of a bad temper if she feels that they're being disrespected. Because, looking tough, it's a holdover. And yeah, that's it. Because
Right.
I've been babbling on for far too long.
No problem. And if anything, I talk way too much, which is why it was in there when I wrote that. If you don't like that, you don't want to join, because I do talk a lot. So I will not drown everybody else out, but I do like to talk. Okay. Very good. And Ash?
Hi, I'm Ash. I play Keithy Tealeaf, the wonderful halfling bard. She stands about 3 feet tall and is 53 years. She started in a circus with her family, fell in love with a half-orc, and then decided that she would go on a path to basically discover him again because he went off to war, and found you guys in a tavern when she was singing, and decided, hey, that seems like an awesome group joint. Yeah. Not really much else I can say about her.
Okay.
Tanbar is, I mean,
Ultra.
I think if anybody's seen the picture, he's a gnome. He's a rock gnome. He's short. He's old looking. Or, he's not old looking. You know, gnomes live for like 500 years or something like that. So he's like middle. Scraggly beard. You know, a bit. He's stubborn. I mean, you guys have been with him for a while, so he's stubborn. Once he sets his mind to something, you'll, you know, see through to it. No, you can't really change his mind. Yeah. What else?
I know when you get put on the spot, you become like this awkward duckling. Like, what do I say?
Oh,
What if you just-
I'm
Did you-
already, wake up a bit.
Did you say your class
Well, you
that you're
have
playing?
30 minutes to collect yourself.
Oh,
Ham.
yeah. He is a wizard, a rock gnome wizard.
All right.
Instead of having a he's got a component pouch on his side that he uses. Rummages
Nice.
through that for stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Glad that you're using a component pouch. You don't see many wizards using that. So
I know, I saw that. And I'm like, okay, focus. Everybody does that. I'm gonna have a component pouch. That's gonna be fun.
To like whip out random shit out of your pouch and be like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
As opposed
Glad
to
that's
just,
good.
because
fling it
that
at you.
was inventory management.
yeah.
Well, I did tell him that I was gonna treat it the same way. I kind of don't want anybody to be too disadvantaged. We're basically, if it's gonna be something different, it's usually just for kind of like RP purposes. You know, I don't want you to
It's just
like,
aesthetics.
yeah, it makes it cool. You know, but I don't want to be like, oh, you didn't keep track of that stuff that was in that pouch, so therefore you can't cast that. Yeah, that's stupid. So I'm not gonna do that.
A lot of DMs when it comes to stuff like that, they just say, "All right, that component would cost you 1,500 gold. Take that out of your stash, and you're good to go." So,
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. I think honestly, I mean, if you could, because by all means, just pick a focus then. You know, arcane focus,
Well,
and so that's not fair. So I was just like, forget it. You know.
yeah.
I think arcane focuses only work with spells up to like a cost of 100 G. Like anything with a cost above 100 G, like even somebody with an arcane focus is gonna have to get the components.
Well, one thing you know about me, like in the DMG, it says this is a guideline.
exactly.
You know, so
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I'm running it, that's kind of how I do it. I mean, I'm really more about the we're trying to have fun. Like if we have to go through and like this is the rules and this is how it goes. I mean, nobody was gonna want to play, you know. So
Especially given the inspiration source for this particular game.
The number one rule in all of Dungeons and Dragons is the rule of cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
and so that's why I feel like whatever. We're
What were you
going
saying,
with that.
Sorry,
I said, ow.
Oh.
I was trying to. Let me turn on my camera. What the hell? I don't care anymore. Look at that double chin. So,
Not any
sorry.
of us are judgmental.
I don't have to count arrows if I have bow and arrows, because that was like the number one reason why I was thinking of focusing and stabbing as a rogue.
I mean, ammo. I would count ammo.
Ammo, yes. Ammo, yes.
I think ammo
that
would be
that does get
Ammo
ammo. Yes,
is
I do
really
count
cheap.
that. But it's cheap,
For
yeah.
10 arrows, it's only 1 gold piece.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
would you
yeah.
automatically assume
I'm not
after
a passive
combat
dragon,
that we collect
I'm
our arrows?
tired.
No. After combat, if you're using any kind of, ammunition, you roll, and that will decide how many you get back.
Oh, it's not
That's
like
fair.
like how
Oh,
like that one the arrow breaks and you lose an ammo. You're okay. Okay.
Yeah. If you roll, okay, just that's actually a good point. If you do roll a 1 on whatever you're doing, sometimes it might have an adverse effect. If you are shooting an arrow and the bad guy is right here, and then you're guildmate is right next to him, and you
Yeah.
roll a 1, you just might
No.
hit. Yeah, so it's not always gonna be that way. I will personally roll myself. I'll roll, and depending on, it'll be like odds, you hit your guildmate. Even it just goes off somewhere else, hits a rock or something. Or
I'm
whatever.
just gonna say real quick, I'm really sorry. Sometimes I have a really bad day where I roll nothing but like 1s, and I end up hitting my guildmates or adventure partners a lot more often than enemies. So if I hit you, please don't take offense, okay?
If it helps though,
Have
I'm
a
a halfling,
kumbaya
so if I
later.
roll a 1, I have to re-roll it.
Right.
You guys will never get hit by my crossbow.
Unless you roll 2
Until you
1s.
roll 2 1s.
Unless I roll 2 1s, yeah. Then
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
God
but-
saying you will.
Halflings having to reroll 1s always seem to roll 2s instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened with me. It's like I get to reroll 1s, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's like okay, fine.